Well guys, we have a really busy day here today. In the last video we went through a whole bunch of games that we got tested and listed on eBay, and in today's video I want to move on to doing some consoles that came with some of those lots with the games. However, before we do that, I have about probably 50 or 60 games here, PS2 and original Xbox, that need to get listed on eBay to clear off room on the table, and then we can start doing the consoles. So we're going to start off with that today and start listing some of those guys on eBay. So right here, guys, are all the games I want to get listed here before we start working on any consoles. This is going to be quite a push. This is probably like, I don't know, maybe 70 in total here, which means that it's going to take me a little bit of time here, probably a couple hours, and then we can go ahead and actually start working on what I want to work on today. But yeah, let me go ahead and sit down and get through all of these guys. Okay, so it turns out my phone died, so I'm sorry that time-lapse cut off, guys, but we did just finish up all the listings for all the games that you see in front of you. Minus, I guess, actually the Wii stuff, because we did that stuff yesterday. But in total here, guys, we got listed today 84 games for a total of $711.16. So not too bad there at all. Not the highest value games in the world, obviously, as you can probably see. But there's a couple good ones in here that will sell really quickly for us, and I think we'll make our money back pretty quick on these lots. So I'm excited to have all that stuff done and listed. So with all that stuff done, before we start moving on to testing some consoles, I want to take a break here and just quickly look at a couple things that sold that I want to pack up really quickly. Again, another pretty slow day for sales, unfortunately. We had one really good day, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, but then Wednesday, yesterday, and today have been a little bit slower. However, there is still a few more items at Valve's place that sold as well. But we do have NHL 14 for the Xbox 360. We have Minecraft for the PS3. We have NCAA Football 12. And then we have Silent Hill, one that I just listed yesterday, which I think sold for like 15 bucks or something, prices on the screen. So pretty good little number of sales there. I'll go ahead and get those packed up. And hopefully with all this listing, we'll be getting a couple more over the next few days. Okay, so it's time to start drafting. I know this table is a complete mess, but take a look at a few items here, guys, that actually were not listed on eBay. Now, occasionally we have this where we'll list something, maybe it sells and get canceled. I've heard of people having listings being taken down by eBay. I don't think we've had that experience with them. I believe that these were all purchased and canceled. However, it happens, and we get items that are sitting on the shelf that we think are listed that are actually not. So I went through the other day and went through a whole bunch of items, and I picked out a couple that weren't listed. One of these was this Canon camera, which we had so much interest on in like the first few months that we had it up. Then somebody bought it and I guess canceled, and we never relisted it for whatever reason. And it was like, I was always wondering why we didn't get any interest in it all of a sudden, because I thought it was going to sell really quick. And then I realized it was not listed. Also, we have a phone, hard drive, which I think I'm actually going to save for a lot. Also, a Turtle Beach headset, a couple other things. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get these guys drafted up here first. Okay, so I just finished up the headphones, the BlackBerry, and the camera. And now I want to move on to this Baby Yoda thing that we picked up at the liquidation place. This thing is so cool. I didn't realize it, but it actually does work. If I do that, it starts like moving around, doing all sorts of cool stuff. I think if you press it again, yeah, look at that. Ears go up and everything. Anyway, it's a very cool toy. $77.88. I think we paid like 20 because we were paying cents on the dollar there. So pretty cool. This is a remote for it too. I think maybe it needs batteries. You can do more with it than just that. So it should be worth quite a bit. We were seeing them going online for anywhere from like $2 to $250. Now this one has some damage to it, obviously. It's got a couple marks on the face. So what we're going to be doing is probably listing this one probably not far from what we paid in terms of what the retail price would have been. Not what we paid, obviously, but probably around 100 or underneath. So it should be a really good deal for somebody. And this thing is super cool. That being said, however, guys, you might remember a little while ago, I picked up this BB-8, which works. It rolls around. We got it at Value Village. I thought that was going to be a huge seller, especially around Christmas. I thought we were going to get like 100 bucks for it. I paid 20. And I think it's listed right now for like 30 or 40. And that thing was the best. So maybe I'm totally wrong, but I figured I'd take another try, especially since this one is new in box. This one's technically used. It was just in the box. But yeah, we'll see if the other one sells well. Hopefully it does, because otherwise I'm not buying any more movable Star Wars figures. Now, yes, I do have to remove the stickers on all these items that I bought, but I'm thinking that the Goo Gone is going to do the trick, which it totally is. Look at that. It's coming right off. Not going to be a problem. Goo Gone and a nice little knife like this. I actually prefer the knife not to be too sharp. I've been using like X-Actos before and they just cut right through everything. So I prefer sort of a more dull knife like this one's not bad, and we just simply take the sticker off like so. Baby Yoda here has now been listed, and look, tell me that you could even have known there was a sticker on there before. That's not peeling, that's actually part of the box art. Look at, there is no indication of it. That's what's nice about having this sort of layered cardboard that's kind of glossy. It doesn't wreck it if you put Goo Gone on it, so you can do that and get stickers off of items like that. Anyway, that guy is drafted. Now let's take a look at what else we want to get done. Got a pretty nice pile here of things that are just big and they need to get listed, because if they're just sitting here, they're not making any money. So we've got a Hot Wheels track. You guys might recall we have a few more of these, not the exact same one, but some very similar ones that we've picked up in the past. They haven't sold well for us, but we're gonna try at a lower price. We got this one for a really good deal. Additionally, we might send the other ones to Amazon because they're selling better on there. So we're gonna look into that. But nevertheless, the sell-through rate does suggest that we should be able to sell these. So we'll see. Maybe just ours haven't sold yet, but regardless, we did buy one more here. Additionally, this is supposed to sell really well. This is a Playmobil Ghostbusters van or whatever. These were going for like $250 sealed. And you can see here, we paid $59. So we probably paid like $15 on this, which is awesome, new in box. So I'm excited to get that guy listed. Hopefully it will sell for a lot. Again, we're going to just try to price these guys competitively. We'll price it probably a lot cheaper than market and hopefully sell it really quick. But that one is new sealed and really doesn't have any box damage. So it's in pretty nice shape. This we picked up at Value Village, probably worth about 30 bucks. I think we paid up on it too. I'm not sure what we paid for this. Okay, we paid like 8 bucks. So, I mean, it's not going to be a huge flip, but just something nice that's sealed and super easy to deal with. And then finally in this bag, we've got a couple boxes of golf balls that we're selling well on eBay. So we're going to lot those up in packs of 2. And then we've got a Hot Wheels lot that we're going to do here with a few cars. So it's time for me to get to work. I'm going to remove all the stickers off them and then we'll go ahead and get them listed on eBay. So I got the stickers off of all these items now, which is great. Only took a few minutes. However, I am struggling with the Hot Wheels. I did the first one here, but I kind of just a little bit maybe wrecked some of the packaging. It feels like a little bit, I don't know. It just feels like there's been water on it when I was using the Goo Gone. And then obviously I didn't do the rest of them yet. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Some of these Hot Wheels, like the red ones here, I think are worth like $20 or $25. I didn't actually search these ones up. I think Araval found these. So, but we looked at quite a few of them. The sold comps were pretty good. So I'm thinking that we're just going to sell them as a lot, but I do have to get those price stickers off there if I think they're going to be worth anything. I might try a heat gun next. Anyway, for right now, however, I'm just going to go ahead and get these 4 items listed. And they're all done, all put away on these shelves, which means that we're now ready to move on to the next couple items. And so my plan for the next few items is actually not to get them drafted today. I was kind of planning on doing it at first, of getting some consoles drafted, but instead I think I actually just want to go ahead and test a whole bunch of them, see if we can get them working, and then we'll go ahead and draft them up in the next video. So anyway, I want to get this PS2 done here, and this is the one that we're going to bundle with the guitar and the Guitar Hero game, and a I think it's got a an SD card, or no, not an SD card, what are they called, the memory cards, and whatever else it needs. So this should be good. As well as I do have one PS2 Slim right back there in the corner, which we're going to go ahead and try and get tested. Additionally, I have some other consoles like this 360 here. I think there's a Wii in there. There are all those NES units and that PS2 Slim in silver, and then there's another PS2 Slim right there. So I'll probably start with whatever I find. There's a Super Nintendo there too, an Xbox 360 there. So we're just going to go through and kind of just pull stuff out that I feel like doing, and we'll see how far we get. Okay, so the first PS2 Slim is tested and working. A couple problems. See, we do have the game up there. The game that came in it doesn't seem to be working, but I'm sure we can fix that with the JFJ Easy Pro. However, one thing is missing an AV cable. I guess I didn't realize that when I bought it, which is too bad. We can always get replacements of those. Those are not a big deal at all. We have a supplier. However, we are also missing the 2-prong. This is the one for my PS3 that goes into the back of this PS2 adapter. And these are worth quite a bit of money. The adapters on their own are worth, I think, like $30 to $40 for the branded ones, which is pretty sweet. But I do want to make sure that we can maybe find one of those that goes with this as well. But the controller seems to be working. The game seems to be working. The disk drive works, which is usually the problem that we have on these. We have about 4 or 5 under the desk right now that have issues with disk drives. So glad to see that working. Memory card works. So otherwise, it should be a pretty quick flip. We paid $40 for it at Value Village with the controller, this power supply, and then no AV. But we did get the memory card in the game, and it probably will make about 100 on it. Or I should say we'll sell it for 100 and probably make like 60 on it is the better way to put that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead now and move on to the next consoles. So I'm on to the next one here, guys. And the person that sold this to us, although they gave us a great deal, also wasn't too keen on packaging. And this was just sitting at the bottom of a big box underneath some games with no wrapper protection around it. I plugged it in. It looks like we got the red light. Let's see if this one's going to work, though. These things are pretty durable. Looks like it's turning on. I imagine that it's going to work, but there's always a chance that it could have broken during transportation. However, it did come with 2 controllers. We've got the memory card right here. We've got the attachment or the wireless dongle for the guitar itself that we're going to try to hook up here in a couple seconds, as well as I have the game somewhere too. And oddly enough, this one came with power, but I don't know if it came with 2 AV or if maybe I somehow added one after the fact, but I have 2 PS2 AV cables right here, which is perfect because the last PS2 that we just dealt with didn't have one. So it looks like my day is shaping up. We've got an extra one right here that we can add with that other PS2. Although it is a no-name one, it will still do the trick. Okay, I just tested this unit right here. Both controllers are working, memory card is working, the Guitar Hero is working. We actually have a game in there right now. As you can see, disc reader is working. This console is in really nice shape. And additionally, I was able to use this guitar. It is functioning as it should be. So I'm going to be doing a Guitar Hero lot with this, and hopefully I'll be able to just bundle a game with this guitar and the sensor and the entire PS2 with all these controllers for about 170 to 200, somewhere in there. We'll see if we get that. I've never done a lot like this before, like a bundle with the guitar, but it might just be worth it. And this one does come apart and fold in half, so we can fit it into a pretty concise box, which I think can make shipping effective on this. I think it might do well. Now, the one thing that I must remember is to take the batteries out this time, because we had a Bop It unit go out the other day that didn't have the batteries out, and then it started going off in the package. So that's not what you want. This one wouldn't go off in the package, but obviously it could corrode if they're old or whatever. And also, these are the batteries I use for testing, so I like to keep them here. So I always forget, but this time I'm gonna remember to take them out. And luckily we've got a nice clean area there with no corrosion, so I want to keep it that way. So I think this will be the last thing that I do today, guys. And this is this box of a few consoles. We've got a bunch of NESs, which are actually already been tested, and they've been numbered with a description that follows each of them, which was from a certain supplier that we have that went ahead and tested them for us, which is fantastic. And then additionally, we have this PS2 Slim. This isn't tested, although it said it was working. So I'm not too worried about these. I've got 2 silver controllers there for the Slim and all the cables. So we're going to go ahead and test that guy out. We'll set these guys aside, and then we'll be ready to draft all of them. Okay, so I've got the silver PS2 Slim here all set up, and it does have a game in it. So we're going to see if this guy works. Let's see how bad. Oh my gosh, yeah, no, it's not in great shape. So that one's probably going to need at least a couple runs in the JFJ Easy Pro if we're going to sell it with the unit, which we probably will, because I'm not sure about that one in particular, but I imagine it's probably not worth anything. Digimon Rumble Arena 2, it might be worth something, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go ahead here and give it the power up. Actually, is the light even on there? I can barely even tell. Yeah, no, it is on. It's just bright in here. So I'll hit that. It does go green. Makes a little bit of a noise, but that's probably not something that can be fixed with some compressed air, or it probably is something that can be fixed. That's what most of our problems are fixed with, is just a bottle of compressed air, which we love using all the time. Anyway, we've got this guy here, and we do have the PS2 logo up there. It just went off, but it is working. It's obviously just loading the game up right now. So we're gonna make sure these controllers work, and then we should be good on this guy too. Okay guys, so last but not least here, we have 3 NES consoles. I think we paid around $90 for the 3 of them, and one of them is gonna be complete with the controllers and cables. I think what I'm gonna do is bundle this one with them. So essentially what's going on here is I believe number 1 and 3 work, and then number 2 is for parts. And yeah, you can see here that this thing comes off. And I believe what's wrong with it is the reader here that just has to be replaced. And that's a common issue with a lot of these units. If you're new to reselling, you might not be familiar with these units and might think that they're like the holy grail, they're worth a lot of money, but unfortunately they're not really. We'll probably get $100 for the one here with the controller and all the cables. We might get, just as a loose working unit, maybe $60 for this one. And then for parts, we're probably talking about $40. So it's not a huge flip, but we just love seeing them, especially for this price. I don't know, it's just something about these consoles that I can't pass on them for that price because they're so cool. So if we can make a buck and be able to show them here on the channel, which is always fun, it is fun to have them. So I don't deal with them too often. I've probably only had maybe 5 or 6 of them here in the entire life of ever doing stuff. So it's fun to have 3 of them here at once. I've got one additional one in the other room that I use occasionally for testing games with, and that's about it. But yeah, luckily the seller in this case had numbered them all for us and given us a thorough description of how they work and their full testing and what had been replaced on the units, which is fantastic. Also, you'll notice some of them yellow quite well, which is not great, unfortunately. So you can see here this bottom one and this one have been quite yellowed and exposed to the sun or whatever. So this one will definitely bring in the highest value. We'll probably pay for the lot, or at least get close to it with this one, and then the rest will just be a little bit of profit. But this was, again, they were tested, everything was labeled or listed, and it was just really some easy, quick money and something fun. Okay guys, well, with those out of the way and the rest of that stuff done, we obviously still have way more consoles here, but I don't have any more time today to do any more. But I feel like what we got done today was pretty good. We got a bunch of games listed, we got a bunch of random new stuff listed, and then we got a few consoles tested and ready to get listed for tomorrow. So I'm excited to say that's everything that we got done today. We are going to wrap things up there. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to go below and leave a like on the video. Comments, questions, concerns, anything that you want me to let me know down in the comments section, please do. I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as possible, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll see you guys all in the next video.